cool soils.
Right. Well, and I think we had such a back and forth winter, and it kind of drug on. I think all of us just wanted to get out and peter around in the garden. I think that was something that all of us just kind of looked forward to, and a lot of us jumped the gun. It wasn't just you.
Well, getting out is good for the souls, good for us to be out doing things. And, we have had an interesting spring, Tess. We are doing things differently in Extension. You've probably noticed a lot of our virtual meetings that's went on. We've not been having face-to-face meetings, and those are going to be continuing for a while. And I thought I would mention an upcoming meeting for our cattle and forage producers. I have been setting in on these weekly, just learning a little bit more. Sometimes being an agent, you're out there learning it on the go because you don't have time to sit and learn it from the specialist. But since we've had this slowdown of meetings, I actually got to participate in several of these things. And there will be a virtual forage field day on June the 12th from 12 to 1, and it is on choosing the best forage variety. So we're toward the end of our forage season as far as planting things, and what's going to be planted now in this late of the game would be some of our summer forages, our sorghum Sudan grasses, our pearl millet, some things that like that warmer weather, drier weather.
Broom sage, that's always good.
Before we can come back in the fall with our, cool season grasses that we would plant in the fall. So this forage field day, I did get a couple of responses from some others that we've had that are finding the links. Most of these are done on Zoom, and we are updating the Caldwell County Extension Office Facebook page and my Shane Bogle Extension page with these, putting the links up there to where you go, and it's very easy to get on these. You can watch them from phones, you can watch them from computers, and you can actually interact and participate with the specialist, ask questions. It's a very good system. It's worked great for us as emergency meetings, that we had to do. We could not meet in person, but we was able to do this virtually and get business taken care of. So again, that is with our forage team from both Lexington and Princeton on June the 12th from 12 to 1. And those are good. I'll actually be signed in on that one as well. So for information, check my Facebook page and the Caldwell County Extension Facebook page for login information to that. And we got something coming up, Tess, for our beef producers on Saturday. Mm-hmm. If you are looking for some nice fall calving bred heifers, our West Kentucky Select Bred Heifer Sale will be Saturday, June the 6th at 12 noon at the livestock market, Kentucky Tennessee Livestock Market in Guthrie. And there will be 200 nice preg checked, vet checked, all their vaccinations, making sure that they are bred to a low calving weight bull. There'll be 200 of those for sale there at West Kentucky Livestock on Saturday, June 6th. So if you're wanting to increase your herd size, get some new bloodlines in, and be ready for a heifer to calve in the fall, then you need to attend this. So if you type in West Kentucky Select Bred Heifer Sale into Google, you will actually be able to see the catalog of what's there to sell. And then you can bid also off-site. So if you see something that you're interested in and cannot attend that, you can contact the livestock market there at Guthrie and get a phone-in bid.
That's a nice sale anyway. That's kind of a neat
We have two of those a year. We have one for spring calving in the fall, and then we have this one, and they are very well received. It has really, I think, changed our cattle operations across the state, and I'd love to see these, and producers get cost share funds through the Phase 1 money to help offset the cost of these heifers, because they are preg checked. You're guaranteed that you're going to have a nice calf and not detriment to the survival of the heifer. If we have a large calf, these are all guaranteed to be small and the heifer to not have problems through that calving season. So getting that young heifer off to a good start is an important thing, and that's one thing that this sale allows, that you're going to get what you're paying for.
Well, when you talk about replacements or even just additions, there's nothing worse than putting, months into a heifer and then going, uh-oh, at the end of the day,
Well, it happens a lot. We deal with fescue toxicity. We have complications. The wrong bull can get in. We just got a plethora of things that are against that first calf heifer, and we have to stay with them and nurse them a little better than we do those mamas that's done it for 10 years, where these need a little extra tender loving care. And just knowing that they're healthy and going to have a good calf come fall is a good use of those funds. And we have multiple producers that use that cost share funds through the phase one that we'll have this fall to help offset the cost of those. So
you mentioned the toxicity. How is that doing this spring? Have we done all right? Well, I know we had a lot of rain and that sort of thing, and I wondered kind of how the toxicity was, as far as our farmers went this spring.
Well,
Did everybody make it out all right?
If we have Kentucky 31 fescue, we have the toxic endophyte present. So we are going to always have problems with that. How we deal with that is planting improved fescue varieties that have a friendly, non-toxic endophyte in it, or having some other forages in that fescue, orchard grass, clovers, that dilutes that down. We don't see it. We really see it later in the summer when these, you'll see a cow that's walking across the field and he still has some winter hair on. They'll be kind of patchy and not slick looking, like we drive by and see a field full of pretty black cows that are slick. They'll still have some hair retained. And then you'll see them wanting to be in that pond a lot. It increases the body temperature of those animals, and they just are seeking some kind of relief for that. And that can cause complications in our calving if it happens to be happening at that time.
Well, they're in that awkward teenage phase, Shane. That's what they get.
Well, not just the heifers. It's not just heifers. This is mature cows. It's a problem that we deal with and have dealt with, for years and years. We just, in the last few, really understood, that we can manage it. First they took that toxic thing out of the fescue, and the fescue died. So the fescue plant had to have that insect living in it to be able to be as persistent and tough as it is. So they thought, well, we better figure out a way to make that not toxic to those animals. And they have figured that out, and that seed is available. A lot of it is being planted, but it's going to take a while. Kentucky 31 fescue is all across this state, in multiple states. And to eradicate it all and get an improved in there is just, it's going to take a long, long, long time.
I don't know if you'll ever do that, Shane, because, to be honest, that's such a common thing. Everybody grabs a bag of 31 and to fill in spots, if nothing else. If you've got bare spots for the next year, everybody grabs it because it's easy for it to come up. I bet people have got bags that are 10 years old sitting in the garage.
That is good stuff. I have been to the actual hillside where that was originally found in 1931. It is an amazing forage, and I'm of the school that believes we can manage around that because it is so good that if we keep desirable forages with it in partnership, it complements forages very well to have orchard grass, to have clovers with it, and it dilutes that down to where it's not quite as bad on those animals.
Well,
So
isn't that like a
I'm
natural weed thing, too? Like the more fescue you got, the less harmful weeds maybe you got.
Well, that's correct. A dense stand of desirable forage goes against weeds.
I was thinking Perilla. You know what I was thinking? I hate that. That's like my T-Rex is what it is. I'm scared to death of it.
We've talked about it many times on this show that a lot of our pastures are overgrazed. If there's 10 horses standing on an acre, you're going to have weeds, and you're going to have bad weeds.
And just because they don't eat them and haven't in the past does not mean they may not come along and decide to now. But if there's not a whole big buffet, they'll get what they can get.
That's right. We have one more topic, and we put this on Facebook again. We had this conversation earlier this week, Tess. We have a very misunderstood insect flying around right now, and that is the European hornet.
I understand him just fine. I don't like him. I'm not misunderstood.
Well, that European hornet has been here for a long time now, and we are seeing it a little bit more. And the mainly reason we see them more than we do the old bald-faced hornet that we used to is just because they are very aggressive. And that was, when they first came, people was very upset, and the sting's very painful. But then this Asian hornet in Washington State was found, and that started a whole new conversation about this murder hornet, and then the misidentification of the European hornet, which has been here for a long time. So we do have an update. There's still a lot of concern about that Asian giant hornet, but it has till May 19th was the last update that I had officially from our Department of Entomology. Is only still been found in Washington State and British Columbia. So we are identifying, university is getting about 100 samples a week of folks that are finding the European hornet. It's got in a house or it's been around a landscape, and they think that it's the Asian hornet, so they're turning it in. So just another plug that it is not in Kentucky. It is nowhere near Kentucky. But if you are still concerned, we are taking those samples. It's been a couple of weeks since I've had one here, but we are just dealing with the European hornet. And if you ever seen a Asian hornet next to a European hornet, you'd say, how did I make that mistake? They're basically the same color, but that Asian hornet is twice the size of a European hornet, and that's hard to fathom until you actually see it side by side.
I got to ask, though, Shane, I'm going to be devil's advocate for a minute. What is the likelihood of it, since it is in the U.S. and Washington, what's the likelihood of it hopping a ride on, some produce or in the back of a truck or something like that and just go a few states?
Well, we've had things that's happened to, Tess. The fire ant. There's an Asian ant that's out there that's been found in Kentucky that stings. So that is possible. That's why our entomology department is being so vigilant about keeping the testing going around here. And that's how we know is if a client comes to Extension with a question about it, that's how we say, okay, this is not it. We haven't found it yet. And then when it's found, they map, they try to trace where it's come from. But I do know where it was found that Department of Agriculture or USDA has went to extreme measures to try and eradicate where they found these, just because of the allergic capabilities that, if this stings somebody, if it's twice the size of European hornet, that's twice the amount of sting. So I understand the concern. But just for folks to know that our specialists are keeping a close eye on this, Extension is, and if you have a question, if you find one, the other one that's coming in about a month, Tess, the other one that folks will mistake it for is the Cicada Killer.
Oh, I hate those things.
Which are, they're ground dwelling. They fly kind of close to the ground. They'll have a hole with some, where they've excavated some dirt out. Those are virtually harmless. They are not aggressive. I've not heard of a sting from one of those things in my entire career, and one of our specialists said the same thing. But they are large, and they are imposing. People see them, they're very scared. So,
they'll buzz your tower, man. They are very aggressive when it comes to buzzing you. They're like Carpenter Bees.
Well, and see, actually the Carpenter Bee is not really aggressive either. It's that they are territorial. So if you are around where they're at, you're around where they're at. And the good thing is they are not hitting you. That it's kind of a bluff thing, like a puff adder. They're all bluff. They can't hurt you, but they're going to scare you to death.
I started to say, yeah, they win. On the off chance that that's the one that has a stinger, I'm done.
That's another reason for doing this morning, just for folks. If you do have a question, get that thing in a pill bottle or a vial of some kind. We will ID that if there is a question. But as of now, he has only been found in those two locations, Washington State and British Columbia.
That is too close for me. They can keep them, Shane Bogle.
We hope they do.
I appreciate you, man. I really do. Of course, you've got the webinars. I think it's Extending Vegetable Gardening into the Fall is your webinar today. That's at 1:00, right?
Yes, and the link for that, I think the one that they sent was broken, and I've placed another one that is active. I've tested it. That is active. It is on that Facebook link that was sent. It's on our extension page and then on my personal extension page.
Well, I don't know if people have gotten in on, if you missed any of this is a really neat little webinar series that they've done. It's even started out at the very beginning, how to plant the seed and get it started, and now we're gardening into the fall. So, I mean, this is one you want to jump in on.
That's right. And, they're free, and that you can do them from the comfort of your home, and I think that it will be appealing to some. So take advantage of those.
Well, thank you, Shane Bogle. We appreciate you. Of course, from the Caldwell County Extension Office, we talk to them every Wednesday. You enjoyed the sunshine, sir.
I'm going to. I'll be out all day.
Stay away from the Hornets.
We will.
You let me know the first time you see one. I'm going to start ringing the bell on the courthouse. The Hornets are here. The Hornets. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Of course, Shane Bogle from the Caldwell County Extension Office, and we appreciate all of the people out there. If you've got any question, I will tell you, these ladies and of course Shane as well, they are so helpful. I don't care if it's from cooking with the kids to the webinars or, of course, our big cattle sale or anything from fields and plants. Of course, they still do testing out there. That is something that that they always, if you got a tree or maybe a bush, something's not, necessarily growing right, they can test that. And they can also test soil samples and all kinds of stuff. So they can help you out. Let them do that for you. That's what they're there for. Here's the phone number, 365-2787. It's our Caldwell County Extension Office right here in Princeton on 62 West. They got all kinds of free stuff on their porch. You jump by out there. The grab bags are so much fun. They're always something good. I think the Chop Chop newsletter, I think I saw earlier, where it's all about apples, and there's even a slow cooker challenge with those grab bags available. So go out there and grab those. Again, Highway 62 West in Princeton. Stick around. We have got a bestseller in the house today, and the one thing I love about it the most is she's such a great example for our kids and our young ladies and anybody who's interested in writing, because you know what? She's from here. She's local, and she's made it to the bestseller list. So and hang on, buckle up, Buttercup. Michelle Wyatt is coming up next on Coffee Talk on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Hot days are coming, and some in our communities need help to stay cool. You can assist when you support PACS, as they find those in need in 9 surrounding counties and provide them with fans to stay cool. Find out more at WPKYonline.com.
Hi, this is Caldwell County Judge Executive Larry Curling. Caldwell County is proud to be a supporter of the greatest comeback of all time.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
This is Mike Gilkey, proudly serving Princeton, Kentucky and surrounding areas.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy offers a wide range of family-friendly classes as well as personal training, yoga, gymnastics, sports training, cardio, and weightlifting. Trilogy has something for everyone. Trilogy now offers an app with online workouts, live classes, nutrition tracking, and more. Search Trilogy Performance Sports in your app store. Use sign-up code 1824. For app info and more, follow them on Facebook.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And I'll tell you, I love it when we've started having guests back in the studio now. And I have really enjoyed it, because I don't think I really noticed how much I had been missing everybody's smiling face until they started coming back in. And I said, I'm so instantly addicted. It's now, are you coming in? Are you coming in? So I'm like a little kid now. But Miss Michelle Wyatt is with us this morning. And tell them what you did.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be amongst people again, too. But I recently published a book called Up Buttercup, and it's about change and change management for personal or for teams and organizations. So just excited to be here and chat.
When did you start writing this book? This is what interests me, though, because it's so timely. Like, it could not be perfect timing on your part.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I started a couple of years ago. I actually worked with a book coach out of Louisville and had no clue, obviously, just how timely it would be. But we set the publishing date, and then events unfolded as they did. So, yeah.
I'll tell you, I know a young lady right now that Miss Van Heuser that would say that, you know what, that's God telling you to prepare yourself coming up for the next couple of years. I mean, how about having a hand in it? Hello.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a good friend of mine and someone who's getting ready to release her book, Level Up, too. So it's been fun to have her along the journey, and she's a great person.
I love the strong. Oh, men, look out. We've got some strong ladies in our. But you know what? When you think about people like Paulette Gray, and a lot of those in our community that have really been inspirations to a lot of the little girls and the young women in our area. How much do you think that has to do with having the courage to step out and do something like this?
Paulette was a teacher of mine and a mentor to me from the time I was about 7th grade when she was my teacher, and then she was also my principal when I was a school teacher for about 6 years. So she's an awesome influence, and just to have people that are super active in the community and set a good example, raise you up makes all the difference.
Well, and I think one of the things that she always did, you know, she expected you to work.
She did, yeah.
But she loved you too. I mean, that was something. I've seen her hug those kids and see them out at the stores, and you know, now y'all behaved. Now you put that down. You know, it didn't matter if it was hers or not. She was, you know, the neighborhood mom and the community mom to a lot of kids. And I think that you know has a lot to do with some of our girls and how they're growing up and saying, I can too.
Absolutely. She set high expectations for us growing up, but also herself, and just watching that example just was awesome.
Okay. Where did you write at? Where was your favorite place to write?
My couch.
Really?
With my kids running around screaming, and yeah, my couch. That's probably where I wrote most of Buckle Up Buttercup, and anywhere I could. I'd like to say I cloistered myself away into some quiet spot, but I don't have a lot of quiet spots in my house, so that was where it was at.
I would rather you be honest. That's my favorite thing to ask anybody that writes something like, okay, tell the truth. Where'd you write it at?
Couch, with usually a laundry basket right beside me.
Bless your heart. So did the writing inspire life, or was life the inspiration for like the topics in the book?
Life's definitely the inspiration for the topics in the book. Personally, I made a really big career shift, kind of mid to late 20s, from public education to the financial services and then corporate training world with First Southern, and just I thought, gosh, it would have been nice when I decided to make that leap if I would have had a guidebook along the way. And so I just compiled lessons learned and things I've seen, and Buckle Up Buttercup was born.
Okay, now we need you to do one for mamas too, because we would have liked to had a guidebook too.
I'm not sure I figured that one out yet.
Girl. So how many kids do you have?
I have 2 boys. Cole's 11 and Case is 7.
See, I love that. They are at a great age. They don't fight at all either, do they?
Never, not at all. It's scary some days.
So how have you kept yourself busy during COVID-19 and the stay-at-home? And were you just writing the whole time, or?
No, I actually did have most of the book finished several months before COVID hit, but I did end up writing an epilogue to the book because it was so timely and relevant there right as we were about to publish. But fortunate enough, I do corporate training for First Southern, and I am able to work remotely, so work for me didn't really miss a beat while everything was shut down. So fortunate there. My husband and I have a small business together as well, so kind of trying to balance that during COVID was interesting, and yeah.
Well, so what was the one chapter in that book that just kicked you in the pants? The one that it was, but it's almost, I think sometimes the ones that really kick us in the pants are almost the most meaningful, because it's like we're fighting ourselves to put it on paper. So which one was it for you?
So I have a chapter about refueling your confidence, and I think that's something just in different phases of life, whether you're just now graduating high school, headed to college, or newly married, new family. For me, career shifts were big, different things, hitting COVID and getting slammed with changes that nobody anticipated. It can really, different confidence stores can take a beating, and so just learning how to refuel those and switch gears and turn lemons into lemonade, that's probably my favorite chapter.
I like this one, the title of it, Kicking into Overdrive. I like that. That one, and Roll the Window Down for a Fresh Perspective. Man, isn't that true? A little breeze in your face can make you really kind of look at the world different, huh?
Absolutely. Even just during everything being shut down, and we live about 4 miles from the courthouse out in the county, and so many things that we were used to, whether it be sports or things that kept us busy, were kind of wiped away, and getting outside and getting a fresh perspective on what was really important was a big deal.
I said, I hate to... Allison, turn it off. Stop listening. I'm going to talk about you in a minute. Because she said, she got the book, she immediately turned it to the last chapter. And so that's exactly what I just sat here and did, because I think, I don't want to look at it. Shoo-wee, y'all. I love that, though. So is that kind of something you say all the time?
I do, yeah, shoo-wee. That's the epilogue there, and that we wrote kind of in the midst of COVID, and that's how I felt, just shoo-wee. Even those of us who embrace change and try to make the best of it, I think struggled through that. So definitely my voice there.
I don't want to give the book away, but man, there are some points that you need to put them all on T-shirts. It's okay not to be okay. Yeah, and we need to remember that. I think that's so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think sometimes, myself included, I can be guilty of just really trying to push through and push myself, and maybe a little too far, and it's good to take a step back and just realize, hey, it's okay to not be okay.
What do you do when you take it too far? What is Michelle's secret to chilling out?
Just taking a big deep breath and catching yourself.
And saying, shoo-wee.
Yeah, saying, shoo-wee.
What'd I do that for? Yeah. And of course, I'm not going to read all of them because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but this is the other one, is we all need help sometimes. And Miss Nan Tackett was in yesterday, and she said, it's not a hand out, it's a hand up. And I think that goes right along with that. We all need help sometimes. And I think that's between that and it's okay not to be okay. That kind of goes hand in hand, and I think those are powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes, they say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village for everything else too. We had so much support, and when this actually was getting ready to publish in the middle of COVID, we wanted something to do that was meaningful and helpful, especially for local businesses. And I had a lot of help and support from Allie and Chad at the Chamber to kind of turn our pre-order into a fundraiser for the Chamber and local businesses, because if there ever was a time to follow my own guidance, it was in the middle of COVID and try to turn lemons into lemonade. And it took a whole team, and we were excited to raise some money for our local businesses that have been hit hard. So.
I'm excited for you. I really am.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be a bestseller?
It's crazy. I never in a million years, within hours, we had hit that Amazon Hot New Releases list, and we made bestseller list for my publishing company, and I never, ever anticipated that would happen. So it's very humbling.
That's amazing, though.
It's pretty cool.
Look where you're from.
I know.
That's not supposed to happen out here.
Shoo-wee.
Are you kidding me? Shoo-wee!
Yeah.
It's a beautiful book, too. Buckle Up Buttercup, How to Drive Success by Embracing the Power of Change. I love that. She's got a beautiful picture on the front. It's just a well put together, very gorgeous book. And it's not just for corporate America. It's got a lot of good stuff in there for moms or grandmas or church leaders. I think this would be great for church leaders as well.
Yeah, my publisher at Silver Tree Publishing, they did an awesome job putting everything together, and I really wanted a book that you could take action on, because so often we try to separate our personal and professional lives, but changes we face personally affect our work, and what we're facing at work affects our personal lives. So they did an awesome job. I wanted it to be something actionable, and they put pit stops in there, and there's activities at the end of every chapter to really apply what we're talking about. So they did an awesome job. It wouldn't have looked that way if I didn't have a good publishing team.
Hey, it's gorgeous. Tell everybody how they can get it. It makes a great gift, by the way, for Father's Day coming up, and this is just a great. Let's help her be a bigger bestseller. How do we do that?
Well, you can. It's available on Amazon, but you can also go to my website. It's www.buckleupbuttercupthebook.com, and it'll link you straight to it, and you can purchase it there. And Kindle version is also available for pre-order now. So.
Now, if they say, you know what, I want her to come to speak at my business or my corporation and to my employees, I mean, is that something that's available as well?
Oh, sure. I love to. I get to, everybody at First Southern's probably tired of hearing me speak, but
I doubt that, seriously. I really do. I doubt that. We'll check with them. I doubt Jake's, probably not. Go ahead.
But no, absolutely. You can go out onto the website again, buckleupbuttercupthebook.com, and there's a contact form, and I'm happy to come and chat with anybody.
Bless your heart. We are so excited for you to be here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Shoo-wee, y'all. It is Buckle Up Buttercup, and How to Drive Success by Embracing the Power of Change. Miss Michelle Wyatt, we are as proud as we can be of you and happy for you too, love. We do. Atta girl.
Thank you.
That's
so
amazing.
Much. I appreciate it.
I love it when somebody comes in and they're local, and you know, our little girls. I've got a girl that is 16, and for them, hey, right here, yes I can.
Yes,
oh yes I can. And I love that because that to me makes a huge difference. And you know, Miss Paulette may not be in school, you know, to be able to influence a lot, but Miss Michelle Wyatt is saying, oh, yes, I can. I'm going to back up Miss Paulette. So I think that's wonderful, and I bet you she's awfully proud of you, too.
Oh, she's awesome, and thank you again for having me.
Thanks for coming in, woman. Michelle Wyatt, of course, Buckle Up Buttercup bestseller right now on Amazon, and get out there and help it sell a bajillion copies. That's what we say. Stick around. We're going to tell you how you can donate blood and talk to the WKRBC up next.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Raider Auction Company.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Sunshine and 87 tonight. 20% chance of showers overnight. Low 68 tomorrow. Chance of late morning showers. Showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 86. And then on Friday, 40% chance of showers. 60% chance it won't. How about that? High near 90. It is 72 and climbing, 1580 at 857, 103.3 WPKY.
Hi, this is Chloe from Community Medical Clinic. Did you know that colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer in the U.S.? But it doesn't have to be. Screening finds precancerous polyps, so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. Screening also finds this cancer early, when treatment works best. If you're 50 or older, get screened for colorectal cancer. For more information, visit communitymedicalclinic.org or call one of our 3 locations, Hopkinsville, Oak Grove, and Princeton. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the CDC's Screen for Life campaign.
Amazing mower sales and service team at the Katie's location. Tim Cook, manager, and his staff can take care of all your mower needs. Any brands with their full service department. Fortner Gas is a certified dealer of Dixie Chopper, Big Dog, and Bobcat mowers. All have great warranties. They also offer free delivery and pickup, and customers can drop off or pick up mowers and parts at the home office in Princeton, free of charge. Check out Fortner Gas and get mowing.
Celebrating 70 years of community service. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton. We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
1580, 103.3 WPKY in Princeton. And, of course, we want to thank all of our guests this morning. Of course, Miss Robin Shively, we're going to be talking to her tomorrow, and we look forward to hearing about that. And, of course, the blood drive, if you haven't heard about it, that's coming up this Friday. And the big importance about that, I know everybody's thinking about the free fishing days and all that kind of stuff. But, before we go fishing and before we sit on the side of a lake bank, we might want to think about, well, what would happen if, God forbid, something happened. There's always accidents. You can't control everything. And one of the ways that we can help ourselves and the people that we live here in the community with is to give blood. And, of course, the WKRBC and Miss Robin Shively, the great folks there at the Western Kentucky Blood Center, they have been amazing through all of this COVID thing and even trying to help with the where we can actually cure all of this mess as well, and they've been leaders in a lot of that as well. So we want to thank them. And of course, coming up on Friday, right here at our tourist center in downtown Princeton, that's something that's going to be going on. That again, we are very excited about, and we hope that they get all kinds of traffic. And now I will say, what has been happening lately is with these blood drives, they've been actually doing where you can go ahead and make an appointment, and you know exactly what time you're going in, and you don't have to worry about, am I going to make it or anything like that. So it's kind of neat, and you can go on your lunch break, and they've actually been filling up where they don't have any appointments left. And I would love to see that happen again right here in Princeton. And of course, again, you're saving your neighbors, you're potentially saving your family members as well, because it stays right here in our area to help our neighbors and our friends and our fellow churchgoers. Of course, again, the Princeton Community Blood Drive is going to be this Friday from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Princeton Welcome Center. Now, if you say, well, where in the world is that? That's right here downtown Princeton at 206 East Market Street in Princeton. Now, there's only a couple of stipulations to it. It's really easy. And you know what? When you think about it, we've got a world record holder right now who is not a spring chicken, but Mr. Dale Font holds the record for the amount of blood given, and that's a world record by one person. I think that is amazing. And I think that would be wonderful if we could go and, in his honor, and just continue that legacy and continue on giving blood and making sure that our folks are taken care of. And again, that's downtown at the Princeton Welcome Center, 206 East Market Street. You got to be 17 years of age or older. Or you can be 16 as long as mom and dad signs the consent form saying that you can. Now, donors have got to weigh about 115 pounds, and you got to wait 56 days between donations. So if you've given in the last 30 days, then you don't qualify for it again until it's been at least 56 days since the last time you donated. Now, you got to present your state photo ID, your driver's license, but that's okay. I mean, that's kind of normal for just about everything these days. 6 donors per hour is what they can accept. Now, one of the biggest reasons why is because they really do deep cleaning in between each person. They make sure that all the CDC guidelines are followed. It's very clean. It's very precise. They really do a fantastic job. You can sign up to donate. And they really prefer that you do that again so that they know what to expect. They know how many people are coming, and they know if they need to try to find more people to fill up or if they've got enough for the day. Now, here's how you do that. You pre-register by calling the Western Kentucky Regional Blood Clinic, and that's the WKRBC. You call them at 888. Got it? 888-684-9296. Let me give you that number again. 888-684-9296. And that's how you get registered to go donate blood. It's think of it as a safety deposit box for you and your family and the people that live around you, just in case you need it. Because blood donors, that would be you. You're essential. I want you to know that. You're essential. And you're essential to people saving their lives and people's family members making it. When if you didn't donate, they might not. I want you to think about that for a minute. You are essential as a blood donor. Okay, let's get them called. 888-684-9296. And, of course, that's the Princeton Blood Drive right here at our tourist center, or the Princeton Welcome Center, rather, right here on East Market Street in Princeton. That's this Friday from 9 to 2. Make sure that you call them and get registered. Okay, tomorrow, of course, Todd Griffin is going to be in. He's got the sideline report. And from what I've heard from him, he's got 562 people coming in. I mean, it's going to be a whopper. So don't forget to tune into that tomorrow because it's going to be big time at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And, again, we want to thank Miss Michelle Wyatt, our local author on the bestseller list. How about that? How about that one, Buttercup? Miss Michelle Wyatt, make sure that you go on Amazon and help her out. Of course, she's on the bestseller list right now, but we would really like to help her out. I'd love to see a local girl doing so well. We also want to thank Shane Bogle this morning from the Caldwell County Extension Office. Be good to one another and enjoy the sunshine. For 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There are thousands of people protesting in London right now over George Floyd's death in Minneapolis last Monday. Protests continue in city